Hi guys, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, guten tag, buenos dias, or buenas noches, whatever is your time zone. So, we are in the final episode of Gothic 2 Night of the Raven. Right now we're gonna talk to our buddies, see what they have to say. Hi Lars, what's up?
How's it going?
Hurry up.
No new dialogue options. What about you, Diego? I need your advice.
I'm facing a host of undead and their complicated traps.
I'm sorry, I have no experience with the undead. You're on your own with this one.
So you're useless, thank you. What about you, Pedro? Tired?
Tired?
It's all right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe this is going to change.
Let's see. Melton, what do you have to say? This book.
Does this book, Almanac of the Possessed, ring a bell?
Pyrocar is the expert on this type of book. Sorry, I know too little to be able to say anything intelligent about that.
Cool. Do you have experience with dragon eggs?
Do you have experience with dragon eggs?
No, not really. I have heard that a clever alchemist once managed to brew a powerful potion from it. But please don't ask me for the recipe, I have no idea.
It's okay, I have the recipe.
Hey, you!
What about you, Lester?
Is there anything you need to tell me?
Not at the moment.
You were right. Mario has betrayed us.
Yes. I may not be too perceptive otherwise, but this case was clear to me. Be a bit more careful about choosing your companions in the future.
Well, I actually was very careful. So off-screen, I ate the food I had. I also used my last King's Soul to make an Elixir of Spirit, because why not? And I also sold everything else I had in my inventory, because it's pretty pointless.
Wait a minute.
Ship shape?
Are there more?
Okay, Gorn is in the mood for a fight. Got a dragon
I
egg.
got a dragon egg here.
Well,
I thought...
I know what you're thinking. Forget it. Keep the thing. I don't want it.
You're not even curious to experiment with forging? Come on.
Hey, you!
Vatras, got an almanac.
I've got an Almanac of the Possessed here.
I think it would be best if I take it to Pyrocar in the monastery, if we get away from here again.
Okay, can you sell me something?
What do you...
We might as well sell the dragon blood, the dragon scales, and I also bought a bunch of potions. We can sell this diary. We don't need Pyrocar's magic leather, we don't need Belial's wrath. Don't need the recipe, or the old leather. Don't even need this key. Don't need the torches. And I don't think we even need the lockpicks anymore. Don't need the amulet. Okay, and let's talk to the rest of our friends. Who is left?
Hey, you!
Hi, Lee.
How's my ship?
Everything's fine. And Gideon?
Everything...
The orcs are true. They really...
Yeah, okay, you're the definition of hubris. Angar, follow me.
Follow.
You go.
So, Angar can only follow you for a semi-short distance. Until we reach the end of the bridge before we enter the undead area. So one thing I'd like to note, and this is something I'm going to circle back to at the end of the episode, how the hell are we going to get the ship out of here? Because within a cave, there's no wind. And we do not even have the manpower to pull out some oars to row the ship away from this grotto. So I'm curious how Jack is gonna do that, because there isn't nearly enough room to maneuver the ship in place to rotate it. I don't even imagine how we could do that. Reminds me of the first few days I got my driver's license. And by the way, I live in Bucharest, so for those who don't know, Bucharest has an insane amount of traffic. We have an insane amount of cars. We have less than 2 million people in our city and close to 5 million cars. I'm not even joking. Parking here is a nightmare. you've heard stories about New York, or maybe Barcelona, or maybe Paris, or other capital cities, but Bucharest is just insane. Not even joking. And when I first got my driver's license, normally a young driver, you're not good enough, right? You barely learn how to park.
Nothing to be had there.
But imagine, because we have so many cars, people park like neck and neck. I'm not even joking. You barely have enough space to squeeze your car in. And I was fucking terrified. I still am terrified, although not so much when I park. Because there are always so many cars in traffic that if you do find a parking space, you basically only have a few seconds to park before cars are gonna pile up behind you.
These headaches are driving me insane.
Okay, you can stay
Stay
back
back now. I'll have to take care of the rest by myself.
Good luck.
Okay, and Anger is gonna basically follow you up to this point, and then he's gonna circle back towards the ship. Now, the next part of the game is just gonna be a large hall filled with seekers, and after that large hall, we're gonna face the final boss. Now, to finish my story, it reminds me of the times nearly lost my mind trying to figure out how to park in this city. It's really not a city where you can park on easy mode. It's always on hard mode. Almost everything in Romania is on hard mode. Cool, so we have... Oh, come on, just... Thank you, just stay put for a second. And I'm curious because I once managed to scratch my car, not with another car, but with, ew. But with my own yard gate back in the countryside. Because there... I don't know why this happened, but the design of buildings and yards and entrances everywhere is so freaking narrow in my country. It's like everybody assumes that once you get your driving license in Romania, you're a perfect driver. Here's the thing, Romanians are actually in general terrible fucking drivers. I'm okay, I haven't gotten into one accident so far, which is a freaking miracle by Romanian standards. I have no doubt eventually some moron is gonna run into me, and I will not be able to avoid him. But this is reminiscent of the difficulties of parking in Romania. Like, Jack, our beautiful captain, parked exactly as I would have parked when I took my driver's license. I mean, you can park, but getting your car out, now that's that's an entirely different story. Okay, what do we have here? We have a strength potion. We have walls filled with demonic gibberish, I guess. Now, if anybody can actually recognize the script, I would be curious, because I have no idea if this is a language invented by the devs, or it's supposed to be an ancient language, or what. Now, all of these side corridors hold nothing interesting. There's a... Hey, Mr. Seeker. There's a chest towards the left. And the key is held by this dark magician at the end of the hallway. We are going to speak to the dark magician in just a second. First, loot up all of the scrolls. Not that it matters too much at this point in the game. So this, what do we have here? Some laboratories and torture chambers.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
The right key, okay. So here's the thing about this dark magician. He's practically... There are two enemies left in the entirety of the game. It's this guy and the final boss. After we engage in dialogue with him, he's gonna cast a spell on us. Now, if we don't have the amulet to protect us from the dark gaze of the Seekers, at the end of the dialogue, he's gonna drain our entire mana and our life will be reduced to 50%. And he's gonna cast the Breath of Death spell on us, which does an insane amount of damage. Now, fortunately, we have enough hit points to survive one Breath of Death attack. And after that point, if he casts another spell, we're pretty much screwed. Now, let's finish eating all the plants we have left in our inventory. How are we doing on mana? Okay, one more and one more of these. So yeah, I'm curious how we're gonna get the boat out of here. By the way, if you are planning to ever move to Bucharest, don't. Like, please choose any other Romanian city that's less crowded. It's an okay-ish city, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to traffic, it's a freaking nightmare. Okay, we are nearly done with our healing stuff. And just one more and one more healing route, and let's quick save the game. Okay, software is still recording. We're okay. Let's talk to the big baddie, shall we?
So, you slimy worm, you have indeed dared to come before the gate of the Master.
Are you the one pulling the strings here?
I am the guardian of the halls of Irdorath, the mightiest source of Beliar's power on earth. The divine strength of the Master flows through my hands. Only one word from me and you will fall into eternal madness.
I see. Guess I'll have to rid myself of another middleman.
And I love that troll response. Oh, you're not the big baddie. Oh, so what is your boss? I need to kill him.
You used to be a follower of the Sleeper.
That is the distant past. The Master has opened our eyes. No one can stop us now. The Master has shown us the only possible way to deal with you unbelievers.
Who's your master?
He is a wanderer between the worlds. His divine wisdom enlightens us. He is the chosen of Beliar, who will free the kingdom from the wretched followers of Innos. He brings death to all who doubt his splendor.
Sounds familiar?
Yeah, we've heard that 1,000 times before now, right? It's quite a cliche by now.
What's hidden behind that huge portal over there?
My lord's chambers remain inaccessible to you. I shall give you no opportunity to open the gate.
Okay.
Just how many more of your kind will I have to kill?
We are many. You have no idea how numerous are those who await this time of freedom. Cries of lamentation will flood across the land when we go out into the world, to free the world of the barbarians who call themselves the Guardians of the Fire. Our gathering here in the temple will not last long.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so our mana is drained now.
Enough of this drivel. I shall destroy you. Your sight will fade, and your spirit will vanish into the darkness.
Okay. Okay, and that was one Breath of Death attack, and it nearly killed us. Okay. Whew. That was a close one. Let's pop total healing, why not? Let's actually pop a couple of them. Alrighty, so we have a key and a scroll from this master, Black Magician Scroll. Kadosh Emem Kadar, the Eye of Power, illuminate your path. Okay, and we also got a key from him. Pop one final speed potion, I think. And one more fire nettle. And alrighty guys, let's see what's in this chest. I'm gonna let you guess, is there gonna be some mighty permanent potions, some mighty scrolls, gold, artifacts of ancient power? And none of that. It's just gonna be a black pearl, some gold, a few random potions, and of course some booze. Because that's what the second to last boss stores in his chest. Some booze. Okay, let's pray over here.
Gosh, Qadar. Open.
And that laughter, I wonder, is that laughter the laughter of the final boss, or did somebody magically encode a spell so the doors will laugh each time it would open? So okay, guys, the big baddie, the master himself, he is an undead dragon. Slightly disappointing, but it kind of fits in the theme of the game. And we might as well do a hard save, the final boss. Now, let's check our spells. So what do we have? The Army of Darkness, Destroy Undead. Now, here's the issue with the Destroy Undead. In the original Gothic 2 game, you could simply two-shot this boss by popping a couple of Destroy Undead in him, right? Because he's an undead dragon, and the Destroy Undead does a whopping 1000 damage. Now, they fixed this in modern Gothic editions, and Destroy Undead doesn't actually work on him. Holy Missile will work, however. Shrink Monster, unfortunately not. We cannot humiliate the final boss by shrinking him down to the size of hamster. Now, without further ado, let's talk to this guy and see what he has to say.
So now you've managed to find me. I've waited all too long for your arrival.
Come on, stop pretending you planned it that way.
Ha 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 ha! What do you know of my intentions? Have I not sent you the Seekers to lure you onto my trail? Have I not left the signs of my existence so clearly that you absolutely could not miss me? We're not the possessed of your kind reason enough for you to seek after the secret driving force. As much as you twist and turn, you cannot dispute all of that. There is only one thing that was not predetermined. You have destroyed one of my servants. He was chosen to bear the claw. As I see, you now bear it. For this outrage, you will die.
So, one minor detail I want to point out. The eyes shining with a bright malevolent light, a red light, awesome. However, the shining black whitish orb alongside his crotch kinda makes his imposing presence, well, less frightening, to be honest.
Who are you?
You still have to ask that? Search within yourself, you fool. You know who I am. I bear no name, just as you bear no name. I am given the divine power from my Creator, just as you bear the power of your God in you. My fate is in the destruction of the world, just as the preaching of the faith of Enos is your purpose, Magician of Fire. Do you not feel the bond that ties us together? Yes, you know who I am.
No, that cannot be. Zardus always said...
Zardus is weak and no threat to me. You alone are worthy of facing me. So it is written. The time has come to accept your fate.
Yeah, okay. And this is the first time the game actually self-references the idea that our main character doesn't actually have a name. Just as this undead dragon doesn't have a name either. So that's probably because we are the avatar of Enos and this guy is the avatar of Beliar. Why are you here?
Why are you here?
The divinity bestowed upon me will inspire me to drown the world in a river of violence. Only when the last fortress of the righteous is fallen shall I rest.
On whose behalf are you leading your minions to war against humankind?
My master is the Lord of Night. You know him. You can hear his call. My armies will rise from the ground in his name and shroud the world in darkness.
Enough said.
Enough said. I shall chase you back under the rock from whence you crept, you monster.
You're not yet ready to defeat me. Only one brief moment, and I shall have reached my goal. Your bones will serve me to let the ill winds of death blow across the world.
And if we pop a shrink spell on him, nothing actually happens, although it does temporarily disable his attack animations. Now, there are 3 side chambers that have some undead orcs that for some reason I cannot hit this specific orc. And these orcs, by the way, if you come too close to their chambers, the chambers will open, these gates will open, and more orcs will infinitely spawn. Now, one way we can simply handle this guy is just pop an army of darkness, and this is basically the way we will handle him, and just holy missile him. We're just gonna pop holy missiles into him until he's dead. And one more. That's it. That's the fight. Boom. Kick the skull. Yep. He's dead. Is that Uritiel? Actually, it looks like the Uritiel sword. Ooh, Zardas is here. Okay. Oh yeah, I love that reaction, like, we scratch our head and then we shrug. I guess Zardas just absorbed the power of the Avatar of Beliar. Well, that's another Tuesday for you, naughty Zardas. You always pull stuff like that. Okay, and we got teleported back down here, despite the fact that we can actually loot the body of the undead dragon. Now, what does the body contain? Well, it contains an interesting item that we can't actually use. Now, here's the thing. We have the Undead Dragon's Soul Stone. He doesn't actually have a heart. Which means,
Nothing there.
For all intents and purposes, we cannot recharge the Eye of Innos. If we examine the Eye of Innos, it is faded and does not shine. Now, if Gothic 3 would have been a good game, canon-wise, we would have started Gothic 3 with the Eye of Innos, and the eye would have been dull and without power. And now as we proceed... by the way, this light effect is something that happens after we defeat the final boss. Our friends will have spawned along the way, and we can actually talk to them.
Hey.
So let's talk to Diego.
It's all over. Now we can get out of here.
Now will you look at this? I've never seen such a construction all my life. How on earth did you manage to get past that thing?
I was lucky, I suppose.
If you say so.
What are you going to do now?
That's a good question. I think I'll go back to Corinus first. Or maybe I'll simply take over Bromore's business. There's always money in that. Honest money. Go to the captain now, and let's get out of here.
I can actually imagine Diego becoming the crime lord of Corinus, or even the crime lord of Mertana. Now, anything else around here? Curious, what happens if I push the switch again? Does anything else happen? What again? Nope. What if I press these switches again? Left, middle, left. Does something happen? Do enemies spawn? No. So I'm guessing this entire puzzle has been disabled right now, right? Does anything else spawn here? No. Okay, so this is pretty much the Temple of Irdorath. It's a bit underwhelming if you ask me. Especially the last boss fight. I mean, you can handle that fight 1,000 different ways. Probably the most difficult way to handle it is when we're gonna do our branch-only challenge. So let's talk to Milton. And by the way, what we said to Diego was exceptionally accurate. We solved that puzzle mostly by luck, which sucks. Hi, Milton.
All right, that's it. The temple is now deprived of its power.
How do you always pull it off,
Damned if I know.
Are we ever gonna get any peace? We've certainly deserved it.
What will you do now?
I'm thinking about founding my own academy and preaching our faith. But it could turn out otherwise. I've never regretted becoming a magician of fire. How do you feel about it?
I'm not so sure.
Meh.
Dry as always. Hey man, you just saved the world. Isn't that reason to rejoice?
Maybe.
Come on, my friend. I think the first thing you need now is 40 winks. You should go straight to the captain and tell him to weigh anchor.
Okay. Yeah, I like the fact that the Nameless here is very dry about this entire event. Okay, the next... So yeah, Xardus basically absorbed the soul of the undead dragon, and that's gonna be slightly irrelevant later on. Unfortunately, not gonna be relevant in Gothic 3 or any other Gothic game, but maybe with the Gothic remaster, we're gonna have a different storyline, a better one. Who knows? Here's hoping. Hi, Lester.
We won't be here much longer.
It's like my headaches just blew away. How did you do that?
I have destroyed the enemy.
It must have been something very powerful. So what was it exactly?
An undead dragon. Your former friends from the swamp camp gave me a pretty hard time.
Yes. Faith can move mountains. That's how it's always been. Unfortunately, they served the wrong god. I'll need some time before I can really get over all this. Hopefully nothing like that will ever happen again. There isn't as much swamp weed in the world as I'd like to smoke right now.
I can believe you, Lester. I can believe you. Now, let's talk to Anger as well.
Hey, you!
Hey, Anger.
You pulled through.
Can we finally get out of here?
Yep, the enemy has been defeated.
Then let's not waste any more time. Go to the captain and tell him to weigh anchor.
I hope there aren't any more of you renegade sect members.
Anything is possible. The Seekers were very thorough, though. Even I almost became enslaved by them. Who knows?
What will you do next?
Maybe I'll retire to the country and become a farmer. I'm tired of fighting.
Yeah, in my head that's canon. Actually, Anger became a farmer because I'm not treating Gothic 3 as canon, sadly. It's just an overall mediocre game at best, and at worst it's just horrible. One thing I want to mention is I'm kind of sad that game design wise our friends don't have a more important role to play. If Gothic 2 ever gets remade, I would very much like to see how each of our friends helps us as we face different challenges inside the temple. And did I just see a healing herb I missed? Yep, I did. Okay, and the next guy we're gonna talk to is Lee. So yeah, it's a crying shame that despite the fact that we brought them along, they don't have a more important role to play. Can you actually close this one? Okay. I'm guessing we can't close the gate, right? Sucks. Let's talk to Lee.
Hey! We can be on our way now. The enemy's dead.
Very good. Then tell the captain to weigh anchor. May our paths cross again someday after this adventure.
Okay. And last guy we're gonna talk to is Gorn, which is... He's gonna be near the ship because Gorn is one lazy bastard. Although, in his defense, he's gonna say, well, I was, busy guarding the ship and all that because if the orcs attack again, I need to dispatch the orcs. And that's a cool flag, by the way. which I'm assuming it looks like a winged griffin from here. Kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Actually, why not? Let's use the free cam mode to give it a better look. So yeah, it looks like a dragon or a griffin from here. Okay, close Marvin mode. What was the question? I don't know, but the answer is we need to talk to Gore.
You stayed with the ship?
Sure I did. Just imagine what we'd do if it weren't there anymore. There's nothing left here for us. Tell the captain to clear the ship.
Okay, let's talk to a few of our companions, see what they have to say. So let's talk to Bennett.
We've done all we needed to do.
I'm glad to hear that. I've just had about enough of this old smithy. I need to plant my feet on solid ground once more.
Okay, let's talk to Lars.
Hey, you! You don't really seem to care about all this.
You know. I thought you'd make it.
What are you going to do now?
No idea. Guess I'll follow you for now.
Okay, let's talk to Pedro.
Tired?
I'm completely done in.
Go hit the sack. We'll soon be at sea again.
Thank you. I already thought I'd fall right off this bench. Good night.
Good night, Pedro. Let's talk to Milton. We already talked to Milton. We already talked to Lister. Let's talk to Gideon, Vatras, and Lee. We already talked to Lee, Anger. Let's talk to Gideon.
We can cast off now.
It's about time. I thought for sure I would rot here on this rock. Now surrender the ship to me immediately.
We're not in Corinus yet. And to be honest, I'm not terribly keen on going back to Corinus. I've been there long enough.
I thought as much. But this is neither the time nor the place to straighten this out. We shall discuss this again at sea. So what? I'm glad to have you back on board in one piece nevertheless. Even if you are a rascal, in the end you acted with righteousness. All right. Now go to the captain and let him navigate us out of here.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So one thing I want to point out is how exactly is Jack gonna maneuver the ship, because there isn't a lot of space to our right, okay? I don't really see how he has enough breathing room to rotate the ship and get us the hell out of here. It would have been better if we'd have anchored way near that cliff in the distance, and maybe we could have sent a small sailing boat, right? Well, that's something that's gonna be Jack's problem, not mine. I'm not the captain. We need to talk to Vatras, so pop one final speed potion. Heal our position. And let's see, besides Vatras, do we need to speak to anybody else? I don't think so. So let's talk to Vatras.
Hey, you! I did it.
I know. I can feel it. You have dealt a blow to Beliar, which will keep him busy for some time. But bear in mind that this was only an episode in the eternal battle between good and evil. Evil always finds a way to enter this world. The war will never end. Only Adonis stands between the warring gods in order to preserve the balance.
He should have helped me instead.
But he did. Of that, you can be certain. Tell the captain that he should weigh anchor as soon as possible. A momentary peace may be deceptive.
Okay, I did it.
Tell the captain that...
Now, lore-wise, 2 of the temples of Beliar have been destroyed. We just destroyed the third, which implies that there's a 4th still hidden out there. Now, is this information ever referenced again in Gothic canon? It's not. Sadly not. Why? Because Joe had to kill piranha bites. Okay, so a few final closing thoughts before we talk to Jack. The island of Irdorath, it's pretty linear, the puzzles are meh, but the revelations we get after talking with the undead dragon are pretty interesting, so we are two sides of the same coin, the Nameless hero and the Undead Dragon. Both are nameless entities. Both are chosen avatars of the respective gods. It's still unclear if we are an avatar of Adanos or Enos, although in Gothic 3 it's implied that we are actually an avatar of balance. We are an avatar of Adanos. Although Gothic 3 actually gives you the choice to be whatever avatar you want. You can side with Enos, Adanos, or Beliar, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. Overall, it's a pretty cool game. It gives you a lot of tools at your disposal, and the thing that it does best is that it's incredibly reactive. Whatever you do in the game, everybody has something to say about your actions. It doesn't matter what class you are or what faction you are. Well, Gordon's still struggling with stairs, I see. And it's one of the few game design approaches that makes Gothic an excellent game, despite the fact that it has a so-so ending. I do like the fact that it ends in potential sequel bait, like what happens to the fourth temple, what happened with Zardis and the Undead Dragon, what's gonna happen to Corinus, is Lord Hagen gonna manage to rescue Garand, what is the fate of the war? There are so many unanswered questions that unfortunately still are gonna remain unanswered because Gothic 3 again in my mind is not canon. It's just a sad game. It's not even a bad game in itself, it's just a sadly designed game because of lack of time more than anything else. Now that being said, we are gonna go and talk to Jack in a minute. We are gonna do a hard save over here where it says Willow, the end, and we are gonna watch the final cutscene together. There are two final cutscenes actually, but before I do that, just one quick second. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for the game right about now. We are gonna talk to Jack and see the following cutscenes and share our final thoughts for the game. So, shall we? I did it. I eliminated the enemy.
I did it. I eliminated the enemy.
I had hoped that everything would turn out well, but I must admit that during those last few hours, I haven't been so sure. Can we finally set sail again now?
Yes, let's end it. And it's interesting that he has the armor from Gothic 1.
And the humans slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Zardos! What exactly happened in the Temple of Irdorath?
With the help of Enos, you have defeated the Avatar of Evil, and I have taken its power unto myself. Since I left the Circle of Fire, this alone has been my goal. What was denied to me in the Temple of the Sleeper has now finally come to pass. Beliar has chosen me.
Cast off!
So, you obey the God of Darkness now?
No, I do not obey Beliar any more than you obey Enos. Not even the gods know what fate has in store for us. And I am only just beginning to grasp what options are open to me. But one thing is certain, we shall meet again.
Okay, and yeah, that's the ending of the game right there. We might as well listen to this beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. And should technically be another cutscene towards the end right now. Okay, so it's after the credits. So yeah, it's an awesome game because it's not just a sequel to Gothic 1, but a lot of the things you learn in Gothic 1, like the combat, the spells, mechanics like lockpicking, the knowledge gets ported into Gothic 2, so you can use whatever you learn in Gothic 1 in Gothic 2. You also have a rough idea of how the world acts and behaves. You have an idea about the hierarchy of people, of the kingdom, and magic ore, and pretty much everything involved in the game. And it's also freaking awesome that many of the NPCs from Gothic 1 make it into the sequel. So you already have established relationships and you know who the people are in the game, right? The ending of the game is pretty much open-ended. It's open-ended enough that it's awesome. And this soundtrack is lovely, by the way. So, what's the plan right now? Well, the plan is that the next episode that I will upload is we're gonna start the Gothic Arcalus playthrough, finally. And while I'm recording and uploading the Gothic Arcalus playthrough, I'll be working on the Gothic 2 review and also on the Gothic 2 secrets videos, because there are a lot of secrets I want to record that we found throughout the game. And that's the plan for the near future. I'm gonna upload a video once every couple of days, but it's gonna be a 1-hour video from now on. I love the fact that they kept a lot of credits in German. To my girlfriend, my parents, and everybody else. Joe would like to thank these guys. Okay, what else? Piranhas, QA, Rainer Doffer, Esther Manga. A lot of people involved in the game. Way larger team than the original. And towards the end, there should be one final credit.
We're overloaded. We have to toss some of the gold overboard.
Get your hands off the gold.
Listen, it would be really better if we...
I don't want to hear any more about it.
I've heard the war with the orcs is going badly.
And?
We probably won't be able to spend all the gold anywhere.
The gold stays on board.
What good is the gold if we capsize in the tiniest storm?
But I don't see a storm.
Not yet.
Relax. Everything will turn out all right.
I love that dialogue. Okay, and yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game. There is nothing else left to do. So, that's the plan. The next video will be uploaded on Friday. It's going to be the Gothic Arcalus playthrough. I'm gonna start the Gothic for me right now, by the way, it's Sunday night. So, I'm gonna upload these videos and record them in advance, because during the work week, I have very little time at my disposal, and I'm usually, honestly, quite exhausted to make videos. It's time spent in traffic and time spent at work, and I don't know, maybe I will eventually get an option to work from home, but at the moment I don't have that option. In any case, thank you guys for watching. It's been an amazing journey from Gothic 1 to Gothic 2, but right now our Gothic 2 journey will come to an end. I'm still debating with myself whether or not to play Gothic 3 at one point in the future, but the first thing I really want to do is play all the big Gothic mods, because people have put a lot of passion and love into them, and I think that passion and love should be shared, and they should deserve a bit more visibility. There aren't a lot of videos on YouTube about the big Gothic mods, at least not in English. There are a lot of German playthroughs or Polish playthroughs, but not many in English, sadly, so we're gonna fix that together. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for this beautiful Gothic journey we've experienced together. And I will see you next time, not as the Nameless hero, but as a young man named Marvin the Cheat Code. Yes, our main character will actually have a name this time, and he's gonna be Marvin. Gothic Arcalos will be in Polish, but we do have excellent English subtitles and lovely, lovely new mechanics to explore. So, until next time, remember the most important story in the world is your own. Cheers, guys, and take care of yourselves.